elderly who are sick, you are afraid they pass away, they ask you to put the three statues they call feng-shui in there. But Chinese custom, they have a way of getting it, overcoming it, with statue, with plants, all this kind of thing. Overcoming. But by overcoming the problem, will it bring harm? In Chinese custom, I care less whether it brings harm, as long as I overcome the problem. But in feng shui aspect and in bazi aspect is different, you know. You cannot combine all this under one unless you understand each one of it. Then you go. So Chinese custom is mainly to overcome only, you know. You don't have, your children don't have any love life, put a pair of Mandarin duck. That's what I meant. It overcome, but that Mandarin duck, will it bring extra love to those who are married? That's a different story, you know. They don't care anymore. They don't care. But when you come to feng shui, feng shui will turn the whole thing into elements, the 5 elements, then match with the house facing to come with the answers. Giving you an example, on coming road, if you go into feng shui element, is actually fire. If your house faces west, what's the element of west? Gold. So on coming road, if it's fire, your house is facing west, so that means the road is, the fire is burning into your direction, and your house facing is gold, because west is gold. So that means that the fire is burning the gold. So people staying in this house will lose money. So according to feng shui, if on coming road element is fire, do you think every house on coming road is inauspicious? No. Because to those houses that is facing earth, it becomes auspicious instead of inauspicious. But to the Chinese custom, whether you face north, south, east, west, is also inauspicious. So whenever people tell you don't buy a house facing oncoming road because it's inauspicious, they are talking Chinese custom, not feng shui. Don't be mistaken by this statement. Okay? So whenever they write this kind of thing, they are basing it on Chinese custom. But if you go into feng shui, you need to turn this into element. So you see, in feng shui, if you want to overcome such a problem, because oncoming road is fire, your house is facing west. So what we say is that as long as your house, you paint it gray, earth color, then we solve the problem. Fire will grow the earth will grow the gold or metal, then it balances off the whole thing. So that is how feng shui overcomes the problems. But bear in mind, feng shui is feng shui. When you come to bazi, date of birth, it's another matter altogether. Let's use oncoming road as an example. Oncoming road is fire, but your element based on your date of birth is water. Fire and water clashes, so it will dries up the water. So this time no longer money, you know. If you learn element based, this time is to do with health. So people who are born under water elements, staying in a house that faces oncoming road will get sick easily. This is bazi, you know. So when I want to solve a bazi, I will suggest, why don't you wear green color? Right? Water will grow the wood will grow the fire, balance off. You get a little bit tired, but you will solve the problem. You see? So this is how you use bazi, feng shui, and Chinese custom. All 3 different parts, you know. See that? Huh? Do you see it? So, but if it's a professional who have learned all this, they will combine all 3 and give you the answer. They will combine all that and give you the answer. So you get the professional services. So we must segregate all this into different parts. This person only talk about feng shui. This person talk about Bazi, but this person talk about Chinese custom. You as a learner must understand, oh, this is how you segregate all the feng shui learning level. But once you graduate, it's time for you to sit down and put all three together, and it depends on your professional aspect, your professionalism to actually be able to link all three and come up with an answer. That one, no one can teach you. It depends on every individual after learning all the 5 levels to sit down calmly to be able to link all 5 together. There's no simple formula to it. So the 5th level is known as common feng shui knowledge. When it teaches you the 5 elements, we teaches you how to have date selection. We teaches you the shape school, the form school, they call it the shape and form school. And they teaches you, they call it the chi flow school. All these are taught under the common feng shui knowledge, inclusive of this Chinese corpus. The knowledge is under the 5th level. Once you finish all these 5 levels, it's time for you to be able to sit down calmly and come up with all the answers. And if you come up with all the answers, there will be, okay, 5 billion over answers from all these combinations. Billion. Not 5 million, 5 billion over answers. When you combine all the 5 levels of knowledge together. In billions. So, we say that when you learn, you must learn step by step. Today, we're going to learn part of the knowledge from the form school. From the form school, is actually talking about shape. So, the most general, best, or called auspicious shape of a house is either square or rectangle. Right? We talked about that, right? But today we focus on missing corners. Okay? This is known as missing corners. Missing corners, huh? We are not talking about protruding. This is protruding. I'm not talking about this. This is protruding. Okay? We are not talking about convex. This is convex. I'm not talking about convex. You know what's convex? Sunken. I'm not talking about this. Neither am I talking about rounded, semicircle, right? Round, square, rectangle. No, we are not going to go into that. We are talking about missing corners in terms of room, in terms of land, in terms of the whole building, in terms of the structure itself. So, does it strike your mind? Does it strike your mind to think of missing corners currently in the market? Residential, corner house. True or not? Because they want to build their road. So the government insists your land must have a cut corner. True or not? Second, you see all the shop lots. Normally it comes to the end lot, there will be a missing corners. Condos, because of the shape, the design of it, your part of that parcel or that lot itself, there will be missing corners. Okay. What do you do whenever you face with the missing corners? So this is what it comes to Jennifer's answers. It says that, oh, when you have that problems, can't you put something to overcome it? Now, when you want to put something to overcome it, you must also understand the level of something you go into with it. As we say that, If you want a